Welcome back, Pot Coven. It's time for the next 4 episode block. What are we going to talk about this time? If you guys didn't catch the last 4 episode block, if this is your first time catching season 4, this is a special season. We're focusing on creating a grimoire together. So you guys know us. We are seasoned mama witches. So we wanted to focus on giving you guys some of our knowledge and focusing on creating a grimoire with you guys, which is basically just a book of knowledge, of information, witchy information specifically. So this block, we are excited to share altar information with you guys. So if you aren't familiar with what an altar is, it is a designated area in Jess. You look nervous.
Oh yeah, I just don't want you to give away too much about what I'm going to talk about.
No, okay. I was just sharing with it what an altar is. Am I giving away too much?
Well, maybe.
Spoiler.
That's my first note.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm giving away spoilers. All right. I won't share. I'm giving away too much. Anyway, I guess. Okay. Backtrack. You didn't hear any of it. La 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 la.
Podcast is not about to start or anything. Just hold your britches and we'll be right back.
Hold your horses. Okay, so before we dive into anything about altars, you don't know anything about that. Don't worry, you didn't hear anything. Let's talk about what we're up to. So, Jess, what are you up to right now?
Oh, currently I am in the process of rebranding and potential name change for my entire business. So we'll see what manifests out of all of that work.
That's exciting.
Yeah. Other than that, it's just kind of like, keeping the same old up. Mm-hmm. Spreading love wherever you go. You can find all that love over at Loving Incantations on IG. Ella, what are you up to?
Well, I am getting more specific in targeting my audience, y'all. I have recognized my niche as somebody who is needed on the other side of, like, leaving the church. So a lot of my witch mama stuff on Patreon is going to start being kind of a little more focused to that. Yeah, I'm doing shop updates. I got lots of good vintage stuff. By the time this episode comes out, it'll be kind of old news, the shop update, but you can still find plenty of stuff on my shop. My Instagram handle is at the.celestial.rose. And yeah, come check it all out. Jasmine, what's up with you, girl?
Okay, so Basic Witch is still open for enrollment because I was gonna, it's a witchy business, right? And I'm every single member of this business. I do everything, right? As we all do in each of our businesses. We don't have any employees at this point in time.
Keyword yet.
Yeah. So I don't have to run anything by anyone. So when I'm posting anything, opening anything at the last moment, I can say, oh, you know what? I think I'm gonna have this open for, a little bit longer than intended. So it's open for enrollment until June 15th. So, yeah, if you've been listening and you're like, you know what, these bitches know a lot. And I would like to learn even more than I already do. And, yeah, I would really like to root down into my witchcraft practice. Basic Witch is perfect for that. That's literally what I created it for. So yeah, it's an 8-week course. It's all about grounding down into your intuition, utilizing your discernment, really practicing research and note-taking and finding your own path, but not just focusing on your own path, because it's also about learning what other people do. So even if you're not a ceremonial witch, you have some information about ceremonial witches and indigenous witches. So, if someone brings those practices up, you've got some information about it, so that's where that, you can be an intelligent witch. So we love all of that. And if you do sign up for Basic Witch, there is going to be, spoiler alert, a course called Not So Basic Witch that comes afterwards. So it is going to be open for everyone. You don't just have to take Basic Witch, but people who do take Basic Witch will get a discount on Not So Basic Witch, and it is going to take it to the next level. So we are going to continue on from Basic Witch to Not So Basic Witch. So that will be what comes afterwards. And so, of course, I'll be talking about that more as time goes on. But yeah, looking at the date of when this episode's going to drop, we are definitely still focusing on Basic Witch. So yeah, go ahead, sign up for that. But that's, yeah, there's some other stuff going on, but let's just focus on that for now. But yeah, that's what's going on with me. So I think now it's time to talk about altars. What do you think, Jess?
Ooh, an altar. What is an altar, you ask?
I do ask. Please do tell.
So basically, an altar can be any structure or space used for spiritual, religious offerings, prayers, rituals. So the root word of altar actually means high place. So when you're coming to your altar and you're bringing your intentions, and this is supposed to be a sacred space. It can be anywhere, honestly. You can turn your entire home into an altar. You can turn an entire room into an altar. Your body can be an altar. It is a space for you to come and intentionally embody, it becomes an intentional, sorry, there we go. I just had to get that out there, guys. Sorry, thank you.
Yeah, just love those out there.
A space for you to for intentional embodiment of what you are trying to call in, create, or connect with. Right? So everybody following so far? This is a place for you to focus your practice in the physical realm, and you can come there and work with it as often or as little as you would like to. This is your space. It's up to you. I don't like putting people in boxes or setting rules for other people. So this is really something for you to get in to your own body, feel into your own mind and your own vibrations of what it is you're trying to create in this space. So you are intentionally choosing to set time aside to be in union, worship, or connection with the purpose of your altar. And it can be any purpose. You could be connecting with deities, you can be connecting with ancestors, you can be connecting with your highest self, calling in abundance for your business, or yada, yada, yada. Any number of things that you can think of. So through divine relationship and connection, when you're working with this space, you are really intentionally telling the universe that I fucking mean it. I mean it. When I am working with this space, this is what I am wanting to do. So you're bringing it to tangible and what word did I write there? Yeah, you're having tangible evidence is what it was, and dedication to this aspect of your practice.
Yeah, like bringing your spiritual I'm having trouble with words today too, I guess. Your spirituality into the physical realm, kind of, right? Kind of like bringing it all into one place together, like the merging, like the portal. It's like the little space in between both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really love that you're defining it like this, because even through this whole, not researching so much, but going through all my old notes, I've never actually considered just even the definition of altar. What does it even mean, So I appreciate knowing this. It's very, very cool, very insightful.
Yeah, it was a good call having Jess go first. Yeah. Because this wasn't in my notes either.
Yeah. No, I was thinking how can I fit my know-how into this area, and so a lot of that is, well, what the fuck is an altar, and why am I even making one? And then we'll get into what the rest of it is as we move along. So anyway, you can, like I was saying, create an altar anywhere that you are, wherever the fuck you are. You could be in the middle of a forest, on the beach, in your bedroom, on your bookshelf, your dresser, your shower, wherever you feel called to. But you're creating a sacred space for you to be able to relax into the conscious mind, or subconscious mind, not the conscious mind. That's where we live. So a thing to remember when choosing your space for creating your altar is that space holds energy and space is energy. So this space that you're creating, you want it to feel safe. You want to feel supported and happy and free to be and express whatever it is that you have to bring to the table in that moment. Those are your high vibrations. So when people talk about high low vibrations, like forget about what their definition of it is. Like, where do you feel the safest and most secure? Where can you be at and be you out, like fully outwardly? So spending time with your altar is a commitment to the aspect of your life you are choosing to devote to, honor, and show respect. There is no right or wrong way to create an altar because this is your sacred space. I'm going to say that a lot during this episode. And an altar can be used, like I said, to connect with self, deities, ancestors. You can use it for earth magic, meditation, or just a fucking place for you to sit and spend some quiet time alone in meditation in whatever fucking form that means. It could be your yoga altar. So you come there and you practice movement medicine. There's a million different ways that you can create this space for yourself. And what is the most important is that how you create it and how you use it is in alignment with your practice. So just because I work with energy doesn't mean you will. And just because Ella works with plant medicine doesn't mean you will. Just because Jasmine works with the stars doesn't mean you will. But you might have a little bit of all of it. So when working with these spaces, it's important to set intentions with what you are going to do, and then lean into the energetic signatures of the things you're choosing to put into that space. And you can keep it really fucking simple. It can be like one or two things, or you can go all elaborate, cluttered all over the place, like eclectic, whatever feels good to you. And these spaces are used to, again, set intentions, create manifestations, create expansion, work with crystal grids or in ceremony. You can incorporate appropriate compass points or feng shui. I'm using both of those terms because you don't have to use any of that, but if it is in alignment with your practice to put things in the north corner. I don't work a lot with the compass, but I know that you two do a little bit more.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't, but I did in the beginning because it's like, I know the like Wiccan practice, you're supposed to, I believe, put your altar to the east. I think. I'm not positive.
Also reading that there was something with like your astrology chart where if you're, I don't remember the terminology because this is not what I was trying to talk about, but if you have like a certain aspect within your chart, then you might want to face your altar in a different way, or
that's
or
pretty
you
cool.
want to use the earth elements, and so you use them in the direction that they're supposed to go.
Right. But for anyone interested in that, we did go over those in the element one. I think Jess was the one who actually went over them. But the earth is north, the air is the east, and fire is the south, and water is the west, I believe.
I think water is south.
No.
Because earth is north, right?
Pretty sure water's the west.
Okay. Anyway, go back to our other episode.
You can consult the oracle or previous episodes.
The oracle, aka Google, or go back to our episodes. We love the list.
JK, guys.
All right. So moving right along here, before you build your altar, first off, be mindful where you're putting your altars. Not all altars are going to go into your bedroom.
True that.
I won't go any farther in that because I feel like I have something to say in Ella's episode, but be mindful where the fuck you put your altar. And okay,
yes,
so you are going.
We've all learned the hard way.
Yes.
Yeah.
A few mistakes along the way will teach you a lot.
And sometimes you don't really have another option, so it just is what it is.
Yeah.
You deal with it or you don't.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then just wake up every night at 3 or 4 a.m. for months at a time and you don't realize what's happening. Anyway.
Yeah,
I
more
love
on that
foreshadowing.
Now you're just going to have to listen to the episode.
Write down these clues, kids.
If you can guess, though, like before we get to the episode, you should write in and let us know.
Oh,
Yep.
that's true. Yes. Yeah.
If you win,
if
you
you're
get a-
listening to this and you want to guess, yeah, we'll give you a door prize. I'll send you a sticker. I don't know. I'll send you a handwritten note.
I'll send you my love.
Yes, we'll send you our love.
All right, so we're about to build an altar. You've sat in meditation, or you like just had an epiphany, and this is what you need to do, what you're calling in, who you're wanting to commune with, whatever your intention may be. That's what you're doing right now. You're aligning your space with the intention that you're setting. So you're asking yourself questions here like, what do you want to do here in this space? And what is your purpose? So like getting really clear on that, be really specific. So I personally have a business altar set up near my desk, and this is for abundance, growth, creativity, me being able to speak clearly to my audience, things like that. And I keep things like labradorite crystals and candles, and I write down my intentions and I read them out loud to my candle before I light it, or as I'm lighting it. It depends on the day. So that one is for calling in. I also have a higher self future altar on my dresser. It is lifted up on a shelf. I think it was a Lazy Susan for a TV, but I like stole it and adapted it into my altar space. So it has shelves and it's really cool. But that one is for me to step into expansion in my next level self. So there is a mirror above it so I can practice mirror magic. I have lots of rose quartz on this one, labradorite, sodalite for creativity. I also use a flame on this altar space. I fucking love fire, so that's something I'll probably have in the majority of my altar spaces. And this is where I can see myself where I'm moving to and calling that in, setting the intentions there. I often have fresh flowers or herbs in this space as well. What was I just going to say? So the other thing that I do, my home is kind of an altar, the entire fucking thing. I just like, I have to make sure it all just feels good and there's a flow to it. So energetically, it's not becoming stagnant. That's not a necessity for anyone to do by any means, but I couldn't live in my home if I didn't set things up in that sort of way. So you're going to take note of energetic requirements that your altar is going to request from you. So remembering too that intention changes, and so too does your space and your altar. So don't be afraid to move it around, change it up, use different things. If you're working with it daily, you can give and take from it. And also remembering to charge your crystals and cleanse things. Because it is your sacred space, you should be working with it in this sort of way, just listening to yourself and to the space and what it's asking for. And then be, again, like I said in the beginning, be mindful of the energetic signatures of the things that you're placing on your altar and making sure it's in alignment with your practice, what you're calling in or communing with. And then you're going to want to, as time goes on, cleanse your space. Like physically cleanse it. Wipe it down, clean it up, declutter, clear stagnant energy, and give yourself like a fresh start. And once you've gotten that done, you can smoke cleanse, use essential oils, crystals, or sounds like singing bowls, chanting, or singing to energetically cleanse your space. So this is all, I said this was for during working with your altar, but it's also like before you set your altar up, make sure your space is clean, decluttered, and that you've energetically cleansed the space. And then you're going to also do that as you're working with it. So then daily, you're going to come in and either light your candles, request petitions, or just be with yourself and this space or your deities or any of that. It's spirit itself. So you're going to want to remember to keep the space activated and energized and harmonious for what it is that you are working with.
I like that. Keep it harmonious. It's a good guideline.
And then throughout time, remember to trade out like dying flowers for fresh ones, any food offerings,
yeah.
or dying plants. Return nature to nature. If you don't have a way to return, like if you can't go and bury it in your backyard, flush it down the toilet is fine. I think the act of giving it back is really what's more important than you just being like, oh, here's the trash can and dumping it. Yeah, I don't know. If you live in, when I lived in an apartment, the toilet was like a really great place for me to be like, all right, I'm just gonna release that back into, the ether.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Right.
There we go.
And I think the last thing on that is respect your space and respect your items. Don't put your phone, your glass of water, random shit on your altar. And when you're cleansing your altar, like you're deep cleaning it, don't put your fucking items on the floor. Show them respect. They're gonna go back onto your altar space.
I have like a little box specifically for like altar items that I trade in and out, like, different like candle holders and statues and shit like that, just to keep them like, nice and tidy. Because I used to have them, like not on the floor, but messy. So it's another good tidbit, Jess. You're fucking so full of wisdom. I enjoy it.
I think it's one thing if you like store your items in floor space or whatever, like in between use, because you're gonna cleanse it before you use it again. But yeah, if you're still planning on using it, just respect it, honor it, because this is your sacredness.
Also, if you're dating someone or you bring someone around and they put something on your altar, that's not a good sign. My Rob came over one time. I remember he wanted to like set something down, and he was like, he did not put anything down on the altar, but he was like looking for a spot. And I like at that point in time wasn't actually using my altar space. And I was like, you can put it there. And he's like, no, I can't. And I was like, okay, good boy. You're right. You can't.
Good boy.
All right, you guys. Thanks so much for listening in to all these excellent altar tips from Jess. We'll be back next week, I believe, with my episode talking about my altar tips, my special altar magic to share with you guys. Yep, that's how I said it, and I'm sticking with it. So reach out to us on Instagram at Power of 3 Podcast. Send us an email at Power of 3 Witch Podcast. Those are the best places to get in contact with us. Make sure to take a screenshot if you're listening. If you're loving the episode, tag us in it so we can share on our stories. We love to hear from you guys. And reach out to us if you have any particular grimoire topics. If you're like, I've been working on my grimoire, but there's a certain topic that I want to hear about, and I want you guys to do an episode block on it. Please, please, please. We'd love to hear from you because we have hella topics that we want to talk about. But of course, we want to make sure that we are talking about the things that you guys want to hear about. So that would be dope. So we will catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.